close to home, in Galveston, Texas. In Galveston, there was a ship in the port, a tanker ship, more like a barge with tankers stacked on it. And these tankers had this lethal liquid chemical that was leaking from them, docked there at the port. It was such a lethal chemical that they had the FBI there and they were going to evacuate Galveston, Texas. So the hazmat team went in. My dad's on the team. Full hazmat suits, and they have to check every single tank because there's a valve on top of the tank that is faulty. And some of them are worse than others. And they have to assess the situation. So they're at the job for a couple hours, going to every single one. They get to this, there's a valve on top of the tank, and they can stand on either side of it, or maybe on their knees, or just on either side of it, on top of this tank that's got railing around it. And there's a safety cover on top of this valve that they have to take off, screw off very slowly. And you can see some of them bubbling, kind of pressure building up. But they got to one and they had to slowly take that cover off, and the pressure built up as they were taking it off, and it exploded and shot that thing a long way. And it didn't go straight up, it kind of came at an angle towards my father and another gentleman standing beside him. And it blew them back, unconscious right away, into the railing, and it blew their hazmat suits off, and then proceeded to spray them with that chemical. So they're naked, being sprayed with that chemical in the eyes, all over their body, into the lungs. The other two guys get them down, and then there's help down the ladders and across the street to one of the best burn units in the world. And they began treating my father right away. So I'm 13, my sister's 11, we're at home asleep. My mom gets a call, wakes us up, puts us in the truck, and we drive 45 minutes to Galveston in the middle of the night without a word, except a worried look from Mom and an idea. We get there, and Mom says, "The ICU burn unit." Before we walk in, "This could be hard, but we have to do this because we have to say bye." We go in there, and I don't recognize him. He doesn't know we're there. We're there to see him alive for the last time. But they knew how to treat him, and they treated him, and it took about 20 years for him to get totally right. He had neurological problems, of course, a lot of lung damage, but he lived, and he's good with life today. He's accepted it. He's learned acceptance. I'm still working on it. I wrote this song about my dad, Steve Galloway. Took my first breath where the muddy rises spills to the Gulf of Mexico. The skyline's colored by chemical mass, put red on the table of the working man. Well, the working man does his best to provide safety and shelter for kids and a wife. Give it a little of his soul every day, making overtime to keep the wolves away. I was barely 13 when the company man tried to dig my daddy's grave. It happened on a French-owned tanker ship spilling poison in a Galveston bay. Well, the liquid fire filled his lungs and his eyes were silenced, mortal cries. Holding a grip, death, stinging pain. He fought like hell to keep the wolves away. For the next few years, Dad was sick as a dog, but he made recovery just despite the odds. The settlement came and we moved out of town where the sky is and heavy with refinery clouds. And he's still alive, he's doing good, he's in his 60s, but the money's run out. He's reaching for pennies, so I'm going for broke with every song I play. But now it's my turn to keep